Hi folks, MACTFORDEDGE here, and just wanted to get with everybody here and go over my, I guess, regular Saturday review on things. And as with all things, I got to get this camera adjusted here a little bit better. There we go. Got a few new folks, and I just wanted to go through all that and wish them all a great day. And of course, I'm waiting for a winter storm, and we'll cover that later. But we got Jason Selland and Paula and Andy Axe, Carlos Cerna, Mark Krajewski. I probably messed that up. Sylvia Nathan, Ricardo Rolong, Rick Ponte, David Jake Hale, Adam Hartle. Okay, welcome to all the new members for this week. And of course, had a rather unusual introduction with one new member, which was Sylvia Nathan. Got a phone call going with her. Apparently she is in Nigeria, and she has her Edge that is, what you doing, girls? Dad's on Facebook. You gonna say hi?
Hi.
Hi. There you go. Okay, but anyway, Sylvia, we had a conversation. She had her water pump fail on her, and that water pump failure resulted in some issues. Hopefully she's getting it fixed up. Basically, the variable cam timing solenoids probably got clogged up with the water and all the other garbage that got thrown in there. So I'm hoping that she changes those out. And of course, Sylvia, let us know how it all works out. But hi from Ohio to Nigeria, I guess. And of course, we'll carry on with some other things for the week. I was out shopping and, of course, buying some parts. And I was going to change my antifreeze coolant, as some people call it, to the Peak is what I bought. I'm having, believe it or not, the fans are working, but I'm not really sure they're working well. One benefit to me is the fact that the it's like 10 to 18 degrees outside, so that does make it a lot better. Bye, baby girl. Anyway, as far as the coolant goes, I went with a Peak, regular extended life green antifreeze coolant, and I'm getting a new thermostat installed. And the fans, it's so cold out right now that the temperature does go up to about 110, 112 is where I'm seeing the fans kick in, about 20%. It seems like the fans are really in a lazy mode. That's the best description I can give y'all. They don't really kick on full force, but then again, it's so cold they may just be ramping up to about 20%. But I never see them go higher than 20%, and that's curious to me. It's like they're almost hardly not working. So I'm going to be ultimately installing a new fan system in there because I just don't want to risk the overheat issue. And I am changing the coolant and the thermostat because I have about 15 months, 16 months on it right now. So I'm going to be changing that out just because. And the thermostat, I'm edging up towards 180,000 miles here soon on it, so I might as well just change that thermostat out just for grins on that part. But I will be doing an old-fashioned coolant change on that aspect, and I will be draining it through the drain plug at the bottom of the radiator to cover that aspect because I've never done that before. But we do have a lot of things going on. Some new members that we've, of course, introduced. We got Matthew Warren. He's changed out some of his O2 sensors, and I'm not entirely sure what it is going on. I'm hoping that he changed out the right sensors. A good scan on that would tell you, Matthew, if your O2 sensors are working. You need to really utilize some sort of data logging and also like a forescan or something to determine which one's not working. A good scanner would definitely help you out in that area. But there are what we call the And of course, the upstream, and there's the downstream. So you want to make sure that you also put the right ones in. I don't think they can be interchangeable. They could probably plug in, but I have not gotten that far in that. But I will find that out here very shortly, because I will be replacing mine. And speaking of O2, I had to go out and get a big box. Yes, I have went out and got this, folks. Don't know if you can tell what it is, but this is the part number on it. Okay, and I know the video's backwards, but what this is the PCV. Okay, and this is it, folks. This is all there is to it. Okay, this little thing right here. Now, where I get into the problem is Ford, in their infinite wisdom, sells you these things, and of course, I can't even get the darn thing open. They sell you these things, and it's up to you to figure out how to get into them. Okay, darndest thing is, this is the new PCV valve. Okay, right here. This is it. Makes all that good noise. Now, folks, look at that. Look at that. Okay, how does that fit in there, right? Guess what? I'm going to have to get a heat gun. I'm going to have to heat this plastic up, and then I'm going to have to force this into it. And then I'm going to have to somehow have it with a gloved hand, squeeze it back around there so it makes sure it has a good fit. But that is the only way this fits, folks. I bought this from the Ford dealer. I bought this from AutoZone to fit into it. But you have to heat this tube up. It's a heat seal, so you got to heat that up and make this fit. They don't make it very easy anymore. Okay, so then this is a quick connect on this end, so it fits in just like so. And the PCV is definitely goes in like that. Okay, so that is what I have as far as the new parts there. And then, of course, I do have my O2 sensor. See if I get one. Okay, and we have this O2 sensor here, and this is what Matthew Warren was working on. And of course, this is the whole thing right here. As you can see, that is it right there. And of course, this is I believe this is the upstream. If you look at the plug, okay, part number, again, it's backwards for you all right now, but this is the DY1155. No, this is the downstream. That's right. These are the downstreams. Okay, there's a price difference for the downstream. The downstream is about $30 or so cheaper than the upstreams. The upstreams do more work. Another thing that I got, yes, Santa come early this year, and of course this is what I got in, and yes, this is it, folks. This is what it is. Okay, and if you wanted to know if you buy new fuel injectors, yes, you can clean them, but I don't feel like cleaning them. I'm going to go with new ones. So when I do my work here later on this year, next year, probably about February is when I expect to change my plugs. You'll also see me replacing fuel injectors. Just some of the things that I'm going to be doing. And then, of course, I got, you know, the CarQuest thermostat. And one thing is, when you go buy CarQuest, you also want to make sure you get that gasket with it for your thermostat. But this is all part of my cooling issue, which will be a fan later on. And of course, my parts boxes are getting more numerous. But the thing that I want to, you know, let y'all know is budgeting on this. Again, I've preached to this before, but budgeting is important. So I buy all these parts now, and then guess what? When it comes time to do my tune-up, I already bought them. All I have to do is do the work now, okay? So I budgeted in everything else. So that's really what I'm working on. And let's see. Miss Orisha Lowe, how you doing, sweetheart? It looks like you have a lack of energy. Yeah, I guess that's what we call it. No, she's probably got more energy than most of us, but her Edge definitely does not have energy. Orisha, I do recommend, if you want a long-lasting battery, so far I have had great results with the AGM battery. So when you go ask for a new battery, ask for an AGM battery for your size that'll fit in your Edge, and that thing will give you more cold cranking amps and has a lot longer life cycle to it. It's going to cost more. I'm not going to lie to you. You will pay more for the battery, but generally that battery has a very good warranty on it. Most of the time, it's not even prorated. They'll give you a 4-year warranty on it, and it'll be free replacement for 4 years with no prorating. So that is an option you can go with, and you can buy AGMs at a lot of different places now. But if you do go to Sears, they do sell that Odyssey battery, and they also sell their own branded battery, which is made by Odyssey for the Sears diehards. So there's some good information. Andrew Jewett, he of course is knee deep in snow. He lives in Canada, go figure, but he's complaining because it's snowing instead of raining. We all think it snows in Canada. Apparently it does. And then we got Charity. She is suffering ice storms, and poor Henry, the Ford Edge, is covered in ice and just not having a great day. I'm waiting for a snowstorm. We got a winter storm watch out right now, so we're doing that. And then of course Elhard, he's parked his Edge over in a parking lot next to a whole bunch of other cars, and of course it's sharp looking, of course, compared to the rest. Let's see what else we got here. We got some congratulations, course, that go out to an anniversary for a Ford Edge that has been under ownership for 1 year. And of course, I forget who posted that one. I can't find it. Daniel Frisco, congratulations on 1 year of ownership of your Edge. And also Andrew Jewett, I don't know where you get these videos, but I am perplexed at it. If y'all get a chance, if you want to watch an Irish Santa or Scottish Santa playing flaming bagpipes on a unicycle, now that has got to be a first. You gotta watch it. It'll crack you up. Yeah, we do more things than just the garage here, folks. Roger Armstrong, I do want everyone to help poor Roger out. This man's freezing to death. Please get his address. Mail him winter coats, blankets, everything. He is freezing in Arizona. The temperature has dropped to 78 degrees. The poor man is dying down there with all that cold weather. So by all means, help him out. We'll start a fund for him to pay for his heat and everything else. Just kidding. He's fine. He just makes fun of us, so we can make fun of him. But anyway, Matthew Warren, he's still working on those O2 sensors. So we'll keep moving on here. Other things, we got Tara Barnaby. She has got a P0460 problem going on with her Edge, and believe it's starting to work itself out. We're waiting for her results on it, but it is looking like we have a fuel problem with a fuel sensor A. It could be dirty, but the problem with this fuel pump fuel sensor A, it detects the level of the fuel. Now it could be related to the instrument control panel, ICP as they call it, or that sensor in the gas tank. Now the problem with this fuel sensor A is it is attached to the fuel pump. So if you want to replace this fuel sensor A, you have to replace the fuel pump. That's all. That's the only way it is. But you got to determine what is the fault, because there are multiple levels of what could be going on. I've not heard of too many instrument control panels really going bad in this situation, but it is a possibility. So we just want to pay attention to what's going on there and not become a part swapping situation. So there needs to be some diagnostics done to determine what the problem is on that. But I do hope she tells us what the results are so that we can determine. So that's your homework there for you, Tara. Let the group know what the results are as soon as you do not or get them repaired so that we can all cover on that. And in case y'all didn't know, I'm running off of my phone. Just a note, I will not put any videos out this weekend, probably till later in the week, this coming weekend maybe. I don't have internet. I had a catastrophic equipment failure out of the main terminal in my backyard, and Mediacom has to come in and dig it up or something and replace it all. So they're doing that Tuesday. So I am running off of my phone. My daughters are, of course, ready to kill themselves. I don't know what the deal is. They're learning how to live life without internet this week, which is interesting all by itself. We always complain about it and then it becomes habit, but they've figured out what to do to keep themselves busy. So yeah, lesson learned on internet. Yes. Dan Bornhoff, thank you so much for that video you posted. That gentleman that was working on his first gen Edge and the water pump. I pray every day I drive mine don't fail, but I'm ready to repair it if it does. But again, maintenance, oil changes, coolant changes. Try to preserve your Edge. Don't drive your coolant 5 years, folks. Change it in a couple years. You want to keep the fresh lubrication going in there, the corrosion down, and keep that water pump from failing. And then also the lubricant, the oil. It works on both sides of it. Coolant one side, oil on the other. They both work together to keep that thing running. So you got to keep both sides of the house happy. We also have some new tires that have been mounted on a few edges here. Of course, snow tire season is coming up, so we want to make sure we do that. And then, of course, Rick, he's got quite a few things. He's got his 2008 MKX, and he's believing he's got a transmission issue on that. And then Curtis Leader, he's got the heater block deal going on with his thermostatic block heater end. Apparently he's going to cut it. Let us know how that all works out, Curtis, so we can find out what's going on with that. Few files have been posted this week too in the files section, and folks, when you got questions, also do a little research on yourself. We got probably 200 files in there on how to fix your Edge, and unfortunately Facebook does not allow us to organize these files, and it makes it difficult. But slide down through those files and look, and you'll probably find it. And if you can't find it, then you can ask us what it is. But try to do a little research on it and experiment what's in there. But they're all PDFs, so you should all be able to look them up really quickly. Let's see. Yeah, it was Tyler Stover. It was featured in a banner photo with his Edge getting new shoes on it. So hopefully he's ready for the winter. And then, of course, Martin, he's having fun with his Honda, I guess Honda Accord or something like that. Yeah, Honda Accord or something. He went from an Edge to Honda Accord. He's a great guy in Puerto Rico, but he found a vehicle that, of course, will fit his needs, and that's what this is all about. I've owned many vehicles myself of different brands and models, so he participates well, and we enjoy it. Let's see. Corey Adam asked about Sync 3 update. If you could do it and install it into your Edge, and I think there's a part swap that has to occur with that. Never done it. I don't have that generation Edge to really speak to that. But from what I understand, there's some part swaps that have to happen in order to make that work. So by all means, there might be some other forums on that aspect. But basically, we have been having a pretty busy day, and I tried to go to the garage. In the garage that I generally go to, I did not see any cars outside. Okay, so I'm figuring, okay, this is great. I'm going to go in, shoot my car in. I walk in, I open the door. The place is packed. I mean, every lift, every stall, even the driveway area inside of it was packed. The side garage, the car wash, the whole thing was jam full of cars. And I was looking, I was like, oh Lord, I ain't getting in here today. So I had to, I just ain't gonna do it. And I was thinking about doing this coolant and thermostat in my driveway, but nah, it's snowing. Not gonna do it. I ain't gonna go outside in the snow to change my coolant and thermostat. So we just didn't do anything with that today. But let's see, emblems. Bob Ross went through the car wash, and he got his car washed and he got debadged all at the same time. Apparently it peeled the entire badge right off the front. So, I've heard of car washes being pretty rough on the edge and causing some damage. So touchless is probably your better choice if you're going to do. If you go through with the brushes, they sometimes, the brushes are pretty hard on the exterior parts, and it can cause some damage there. I'm not a big shiny, painty guy. I run it through the car wash and I move on. And sometimes I joke, what's a car wash? Okay, my edge is dirty. I wash it when I get a chance. Other than that, I just move on. Let's see, we've had a few things. The transmission issues with a lot of these first gen edges are starting to pop up everywhere, folks. We had one member that had their edge. They took it in, and who was this? Gosh, trying to find them again here. Forget who it was. They went in, took their edge in. Let me find them here. I know they're here. I just can't see them right now. Oh, shift to park. Mark D'Antonio has a shift to park issue, and I'm going to speak to that while I'm looking for this other part of it here. But shift to park, that cable, there's a little switch in there. I have run across that with a different vehicle, like I stated on the page. Sometimes a little electrical cleaner in there might loosen that thing up. It gets cold and it gets sticky. The grease gets sticky in there. There's probably some little amount of lube in there and it's getting sticky. If you can loosen it up, because it generally don't happen as a rule when it gets warm sometimes. But the cold weather really does affect the vehicles quite a bit on some aspects of it. I'm just trying to find out who that is that had that edge. Let's see. Trying to find out who it was. Gosh, I can't find him. I think it's David Hale, I think. No, wasn't him. That was his sunroof. And anyway, I'm trying to find him here about the edge. Looks like Mitchell Beck, he's going through a big deal with his transmission. He has found out that it has failed, and of course he is ripping that entire transmission out. And folks, if you don't know what that entails disconnecting a lot of things, the bell housing, but you have to remove the subframe and drop the subframe down and completely out. Pull this, this like the steering rack out and everything else to get this transmission out. Okay, pulling the axle out and everything else that goes with it in order to pull it. He has basically determined a seal of some sort and a catastrophic failure that goes with it. It's going to be, I don't know if he's going to rebuild it or he's going to put a remanufactured or new one in. But either way, it has completely failed on him, and he's very certain that he has to replace it. But also the fluid he showed was just terrible. So, he's going to have that checked, and I look forward to seeing what the results are of that fluid check, because that would definitely be helpful to do it. Now, let's see what we got. Adam Hale. Okay, he's the one with the transmission here. And there's a situation, Adam Hartle, his transmission went out. He took it to the dealer, and they quoted him and said to him, your transmission is shot. Now, folks, when you go to the doctor and you have them run tests on your body and they do the diagnostic, they come back with the test results telling you what this is, and that you don't go to the doctor and call them up and have them diagnose you with stuff. So you call the doctor up and say, yeah, how was my test? So, oh, your heart's shot. Okay. More information, please. Why don't you ask for the information on your edge? If they call you up and you say hello and they say, well, your transmission shot's going to cost $5,000. Okay. How did you come to this realization? How did you diagnose it? How did you come up with this information? And what information do you have to tell me that leads to this conclusion? Ask people. That's what I'm saying. We got to become better consumers. Okay? I'm on a soapbox here, but when I don't accept your transmission shot, I really don't. Okay? Go to them and ask them, why is it shot? What led you to believe that it's shot? Show me the diagnostics. Show me what you did to come to this conclusion. Okay? What part has failed exactly? Okay? If you want to be a good consumer, if you want to hold your dealer responsible, you will ask them these questions. Okay? I don't accept your transmission shot. Okay? And then they offer to buy your car from you. Well, guess what? Your transmission shot, we'll fix it for $700. We'll resell it because Ford Edge has got a pretty decent resale value. And then we'll have you buy a new one. They make profit twice, and you spend more money on a car. Okay? I would get a second opinion. Okay? I really would. I'm not going to say the transmission, but $5,000 for a transmission, that seems a little bit on a high price too. Okay? That's nearing engine replacement. Okay? I've had people replace their engines for $5,000. Okay? It's really... I'd definitely get a second opinion on this one. So Adam Hartle, that's my opinion on it. I would definitely dig that one deeper. You got to drill down on this one, bud. So go for that. My soapbox on that part. I just don't like it when mechanics don't provide you the information, when you pay them to provide you information. So let's see what else we got going on. I did choose peak antifreeze for my Ford Edge. I read the bottles. I checked everything out. It is the green fluid coolant, so that's what I'm going with. I'm not going with Motorcraft because I generally change mine out about every year and a half anyway because of the miles I drive. So that's what I'm doing on that. And I posted a picture. I got everybody excited on here to respond and everything else on my leaking exhaust system. And I knew what it was, but there's been people ask, why is my exhaust leaking? Oh my gosh. It's natural, folks. And as one of our members, responded is when you break down hydrocarbons, of course, you got a byproduct. The byproduct is moisture, water. Okay, it goes through the catalytic converter and everything else happens, and then you end up with water in the exhaust system. In the earlier days of my driving, it was not uncommon for water to get in the exhaust systems. And then exhaust systems would literally rust out in a couple years. When I was a kid, we replaced exhaust systems religiously. Why? Because they didn't use the better metals on there when they made them. There was no drain holes for them. The water would sit in there and rot and rust the exhaust system out. Today, they have better engineering. They use better materials, stainless steel, and all this other stuff to help protect the exhaust system. And also, they have drain holes to allow the water to drain out. That's why our exhaust systems last much longer now than they did before. So, that's what they've done. They've learned their lessons over the years, and they figured out how to get rid of the water out of the exhaust system and have better materials. But this is a standard thing that happens, and my water was leaking out like that because I had a long engine idle, for one, and two, cold, dense air also makes it make more water, okay? When you get cold, dense air with hot air, you're going to end up with more water leaking out of the exhaust system than you say would on a summertime, okay? And that is just the end result of what's going on. Excuse me. Now, as far as anything else goes, I don't want to go on too much longer on this, but this is just basically my weekend cap. Like I said, I won't be putting any videos out, and of course I will work hard at getting some more videos out when I do have the time here towards the end of next week. And I will be doing my coolant drain and fill along with the thermostat, and I also have to do a spark plug change, so I may have a busy weekend. My wife's Ford Edge, which is a 2011 we call Blueberry, is nearly at 90,000, and I do have to go ahead and do a spark plug change on hers. I will measure the spark plugs to show you what they're at 90,000 miles, and then we'll carry on from there. But again, this is MACTFORDEDGE, and of course, go up and join Facebook here in this group, and of course, get your questions answered, and then of course, join and subscribe to the YT for MACTFORDEDGE, and watch those videos and help me out. And don't forget, if you feel kind enough, hit that fan funding button. Help me out a little bit. I'm trying to get a new camera because the one I have is definitely 5-year-old, going on 6, and I do need to have other issues taken care of on that, and I'm just trying to make sure I can keep these videos going. So help me out if you feel you can and you like these videos. But my feet did hit the floor today, and I'm having a great day, and I'm going to go upstairs and try to entertain young girls to make sure that they can live life without the internet. So have a great day, and I'll see y'all later.